Well, that was spectacular. I don't know if I've got any good shots or not, but I've taken a lot of these cotton grasses and moving in the wind. Morning everybody. In fact, it's evening for me, but morning for you watching this. If you're watching it in the morning, and if you're not, then it might be evening. Well, it's my evening, everybody. So, hopefully you can hear me. It is so windy here. I am on a moor in the Peak District, and I'm wild camping tonight again. With my friend, who's not a photographer. We've just come out to just have a bit of an adventure in a wild camp, and I thought I'd come along and see if I could get some photos. I'm not too bothered if I do or not, but I want to make a vlog about it really. I wanted just to speak to you about some other things as well. Might not take any photos, the light might change and I might take some great photos, and I just don't feel under any pressure. I'm just going to enjoy the evening, and hopefully the wind's going to die down and we can sample another one of my boil in the bag meals. And hopefully the midges aren't going to come out. But I think with this wind we should be good. So I think we've found somewhere over there where we're going to pitch our tents, and I'm going to have a look around and see if there is anything to take a photo of. These rocks are really good, but I'm not sure what else there is here. I've never been here before. Okay, let's go. Okay, so we've got our campsite set up here for sunrise, which is over there, and it should be fantastic in the morning. But actually I've just looked at the clouds over here at sunset, and if you just look, they look amazing, really dark and foreboding. So I'm hoping that where the sort of silver lining is at the bottom of the clouds here, that we're going to get some amazing light that lights these clouds up, and these rocks are going to provide some really interesting foreground. But also what I've seen is this cotton grass. So if you just go down here, can you see this cotton grass here? And that could look amazing in some really golden light. So there's a number of shots. There's some cotton grass over there in a big sort of a field of cotton grass. And the clouds are amazing. So I'm going to get my chicken tikka, have that, and then I'll be all set up to get that amazing light. Okay, so I'm really quite excited about this now. There's this really golden sort of area you can see in the background there where the sun's coming down at sunset. And we've got these amazing sort of cotton grasses here. So what I'm trying to do, I've tried to do a wide angle shot where I get the cotton grasses in and then the dark cloud, because the cloud's really interesting as well. But what I've found is that the cotton grass just sort of blend into nothing really, and they're not a strong enough subject. So what I'm going to do when the sun comes out is I'm going to shoot with my 35mm lens, probably on about f2, and I'm just going to hand hold it, and I'm going to get down, probably the bunch over there that's really strong, and I'm going to shoot through them into the sunlight. And I think if I can just get the shutter speed right, where I just get a little bit of movement, I could get some really, really nice shots. So I'm really quite excited about that. Okay, the sun's gone now. I didn't vlog during that because I obviously was taking photos on my Fuji, which is the only camera I've got here. It's usually the only camera I take when I go on a wild camp. Well, that was spectacular. I don't know if I've got any good shots or not, but I've taken a lot of these cotton grasses and moving in the wind, and it's entirely luck, I think, whether I've got them or not. So I took some with my 10 to 24mm lens at various focal lengths, and I took some with a 35mm lens. I wish I could say how you should shoot these, but I really don't know. They've either come out well or they've been really rubbish. What I tried to do though was think about composition again. So I tried to find some that were separated a little bit and they were blowing nicely in the wind, to try and just create something that was simple within all this chaos. Okay, well, the sun's gone in now, and I'm going to go back over in this direction, over there. My camp is just down there. I'm going to go to sleep, ready for the sunset in the morning. Okay, see you in the morning.
tried to find some peace of mind, lost in time, and I was torn from you.
Oh, morning. Right. Oh, so it's about, let me check. It's about 15 minutes before sunrise now. And as you can see, it's well worth getting up before sunrise because it looks stunning over there. The clouds and the gorgeous morning colours are just really great. But it was so cold last night. Luckily I had a sleeping bag that was rated down to -1, but my friend Andy was not so lucky. His sleeping bag was from the 1970s and yeah, he got his space blanket out. So what I'm doing is I've come to the rocks here and I'm trying to find a good composition with the lines of the rocks. So you can probably see here there's these amazing lines on these rocks. But the difficulty is there's not a lot of big mountains around here and we're sort of on this sort of plateau. It's quite flat. So even though we're quite high up, there's no real great distant view. What I'm going to try and do is use the rocks and the cloud formations to try and create a composition between the two things really. So I'm looking for similarities in the clouds and the rocks. Now I don't know if this is going to work, but if it does I think it's going to produce a reasonably good composition. I'm so cold. It's cold.
We fell apart. You love somebody new, lost in your heart. Stay too
So
long.
just got the last of the sun now on the rocks here and I found this composition that I'm in. You can just see the tents through the gap there, we can see the ridge of the mountain in the background and we've got some good balance of rocks on the left and right and some nice foreground as well, so I think it looks pretty good. Okay, I've moved my camera just a little bit further back now and I've just thought of something else that's really important to say when you're taking pictures of sunrises. So I prefer most of the time not to have the sun in the picture but off to the left hand side or the right hand side. So I usually just cut it off just by a few sort of millimeters in the frame and that gives this glow from, in this case, the left hand side of the image. It sort of is a really nice side light for things like the foreground that I've got down there, this foreground here, and there's also a good side light for this rock here and these rocks here. And it makes a really big difference to the composition. I think if you point into the sun, it looks a bit too like you're taking a picture of the sunrise. What I'm using is the sunrise light rather than the sunrise. And yeah, it makes for a better composition, I think. This is an okay composition. The other thing I'd say is that because I've got down low, this rock here sort of protrudes. It's a nice diagonal into the sort of sky. If it had got higher up, then it would have been, the horizon would have been very flat. And what I want to do is try and create some sort of dynamic element. If you remember earlier I was talking about it being flat around here. By using this rock I can almost create this sort of mini mountain in the midground of the image. So that's my thoughts. I'm going to take the shot and then I think I'm going to get back in the tent and go to bed. Not really.
Lost in time. I was torn from you. We fell apart. You love somebody new, lost in your heart, baby. I
So it's been a fantastic camp in the Peak District, and before I go I just want to tell you a little bit about this scene behind me. So when I was walking up yesterday, I took a quick shot of this wall and this tree. The light was really nice, and I took it on my phone, and when I'm coming down now you can see that we got sort of a flatter light, and it just goes to show the difference it can make to composition. So I'll show you these two images, and what you can see is that the one that I took last night, although the sky's blue, I've sort of used the cloud in the composition to sort of balance the tree. And I think it's quite a nice composition. It's not going to win any awards, but it's certainly better than it is now. And it just shows that by waiting a little bit, having the light change a little bit can significantly improve the composition in an image. For anybody that's interested in composition, I've got a free ebook that's now available. Well, I say it's free. It is free. For anybody who wants it, they can download it for free. But if you want to make a donation, then you can pay what you want for it. But don't feel like you have to. A lot of people have said that they'd like to, so I offered that, and I sent it out in my email newsletter. But if you want, there's a link to it here, and there's a link in the description below for it as well. It's a 20-page book on composition. Okay, the other thing I've just got to do is quickly read out the winners of the composition 3 weeks ago, because I forgot to do it last week. So the winners are PGC Knaphill, well done, and Nina Cleven. So congratulations. I'll send you over the Photo Speed A4 paper, and I'll also send you one of you over my limited edition print. Okay, so that's it for my short video this week. Thanks ever so much for watching. If you're not subscribed, then please subscribe. Don't forget to click that bell icon as well, so you get notifications of when new videos are published. Occasionally, I publish a midweek one, very occasionally, so don't miss it. And until next Sunday, bye.
Is alone.